and intino ama oman no fa hodie no anase oman na so nwie na hunyan to when we make our comments public and say some of these things no yeah nyese ye pese ye gu obi hu obi adwuma hu efi anase de to obi adwuma ase ne pese ye kan say ye pese ye be makwan na a few politicians and a few appointees assign them oman ye ni nti no oman no bebo ye ne ho abekire hwe Ghana Cardi ansana ye be appoint Kenatifa as executive head of the police, you know. Now you must be akasa about the multiplicity of identity cards that we have, and a challenge our identity as a people. Until now we had argued that Papa said you better consolidate your identity into one card. Okay, so that you don't need to have a passport, you don't need to have hospital card, SNED card, driver's license, and cards. We don't need your card back. Into the idea of having a Ghana card, President J. Kufuor introduced you, idea at the Papa, we applaud that move. But a could do say, electoral commission kase, and only is going to be the sole documentation to be used to register votes, to register voters. And now a day, Shemamin Kakra Abim, Sanyam Din Kankan, media minije say Nanke Binya Ghana card. But akoya say nyeni panyi na ina card de bi mbiribi omoko parliament and say ya Kenatifa ka so nya 11 days but printed the rest of the Ghana cards 11 days na broso nso printed e hwa na yetia na ye kasa ye kan wasem na aban a osi oni sika a de be hwe around that time na vaccine ashoto aban entumi enkre bimba around that time labor unions ye call aban ho de no makoye negotiations a omo say sika ni wona ye kana na finance minister call parliament say musika na mo de be Ghana card no no de me wo ho me de ma musisi a da me de ma musisi. You see, there was a certain suspicion in the minds of other political stakeholders. Say Ghana cards no ye de be ye in you see, the using of the Ghana card as a sole document for voter registration would impact heavily on the electoral fortunes of political parties. Inti adibia impact heavily on the electoral fortunes of the political parties. Now they see it with some trepidation. So you must always carry them on board and make sure that you demystify or ubeyi omusuro na omuwono efiho. And how do you remove their fear? Is to dialogue with them and to tell them that, oh, yenimuse bi amusuro se sene nemum sene shisha yidi egu akwemu ntino mu yisuro nye dem feel. So if you're able to dialogue with them and then you carry them on board now, then you'll be able to go ahead to implement that laudable adi program. But the suspicion no ewo now in the midst of the suspicion na nkofo adwem eyom kesene no na aban a oni hye okọ parliament kese ministry now we card way them we scam. See, that deepened the suspicion. Okay, and my advice and my call on Professor Kenatifa, many insano, and the Miankasa, my former boss, Mrs. G. Mensa, and they say, you see, when you are given a mandate to lead an organization, it's not only about hyping your mandate, but you see, your mandate also affects stakeholders. Your mandate without stakeholders is meaningless. So I'm not saying say but how do you build or develop the necessary relational competence that makes you reach out to the other side and bring them all around the table and to dialogue? Say obi ni obi entemunfe. Say yebeka se pese omuntemunfe no. Enye ade a yetena on fold your arms. Enye ade a ye no actual let us say inviting them to come. No. It's a certain skill that you have to cultivate and develop, how to be able to reach out to the other side and bring them on the table so that you will be able to erase their fears and doubts. Because NDC for other political stakeholders, and including myself, we are not saying that the Ghana card is not good. I'm saying that there are trust deficits. Okay, with it. Let us iron it out. Because can Atifa say on you said there are trust deficits. Na Jerry Rollins kra bro moko register no okay say ade ne papa, we are not dealing with the view of dead people. We are dealing with the views of people who are alive now. And to stop referring to the views of people who are dead and made certain comments when the current exigencies were not in place. Oh, can we almost say Jama, we adi mpanimfo mbe omo se weni san mpa ya asem da bi kana for eni nso bia na mom ya somdwe na ehuhia se basa ye beba oman mu a eto de bia enye logic na de beba enye nsem papa egu apem akwem na de beba. Sometimes it is just perception of something untoward being happen. No, it's perception of something untoward happening and it to me de basa ye eba ntino yesre yen kase nti obi na mom yesre se NIE for Electoral Commission for a find a very convenient way, a level playing field way of reaching out to those who have certain perceptions, negative perceptions about what is going on. Na muni omonkasa na akumanto yi muni omokasa na mo church they will be able to understand niemo ye challenges amowo kwan ye be fa so deal with the challenges. If you understand all these things, you bring them on board now. The NIA and then the EC itself themselves will get their own institutional piece to be able to carry out their mandate.
Ghana card issue last week ye treaty issue bi kra wa na abrante ba ko a okwa kotro ne din oduru ho no wukuma se yesi ontua 500 Ghana cedis we tua 500 cedis na ma omo okoya card ne yenye o se card no mo nya mo famisika mame omo se sika ne yeni wa ha ye mfa ma ya free police ya che no ya che ne kotuma yesi o afide wa adwun omo se abrante ne ya lata ne onye Ghana ne ntina oba ye no ntina omo abomodia na omo ache no na obi o ya latani no wagene sika wie wa hye ne time o meje ne card oba ya de wo so ya latani now wo hwe villages na yen ye di akire kakra me abemi na na krom kwaku bi chem krom ogomu atachman me ko krom ho won Ghana card no bi ye won mo firi nkran e ko nsra hwe ho ekura na se ho na nkasa no wo mu ni Ghana card ne bi de bi su bobo wo fa even mankasim kra na so kakra even Cape Coast kra se o cheso ne ade obekon they don't have the Ghana card. It is also changing and no na yemfa nkoto aba. That just said deliberately no you perceive disenfranchising crofobia.
Well, you see, so near okay, just said the statistics also confirm what you are saying, and these are some of the things that are making others suspicious. Say I did mashada and I say bibisa. Intino and American say it is important. Say the NIA respond to some of these challenges. And then also, a political elite, everybody together. So as you can say, we are working. Me and chair, me mammy, because you Ghana card mom. Me share ni pa na abodom pim. Ewo NIA headquarters hona. Not mean to me any day. Ain't you know me quiet and almost say 250 cedis each. The 500 cedis. Me and me try. Yes, will be say. Me try. Me kind of process. If I say a premium service. I don't
500 cedis premium service.
Premium service for Nipa 2. Many of money challenge. But my point is that any Nipa na ena ombenya adaje ejina line nti Nipa bebre so be feel say ade so hu hia nti ese me nso me copy premium service no na say Nipa he to me afford 500 cedis.
Na wale Nipa do say na benya 500.
Nipa he na benya akọ ai na nka the various districts and localities registration air cost ye a challenge bi ni look no kwasem enye ye ni nsan bi but I have an experience Ghana card buy no me ko register ye ewo Madina ho presec echi ho bibi so many years ago me ko register me say anka me card na
Professor Jacob for time no
there be na nsenya kak eba fufei na nsenya me ko register me say anka me card na me buy head office na me say register you the first one now me register first one now me register I'm still waiting for
that card
say ba amba into minimum call for bebre a we register bia up to now my card enya den emai
to 70 million deeper now so my register no crowd dey emi
minimum call for bebre up to now my card enya den buy na e for na nkasa so be kan say omuntimi cards bi ho ma print kra omuntimi ebi nim magye en nasefo intiminim say media na ne yankwaje media ka ho say then I can't even tell okay but bibi am coin na you say the ko ha we say e wo hu nsanso bebere there are challenges but I'm not saying that we should just pander to the challenges. My concern is that how do you bring all on board to understand these challenges, and how do you get them to understand that regardless of these challenges, we can do it and get their buy-in and ownership? How do you do that?
Say no Ghana card no, yes, you register with teachers. So we niska untimi nye. We here 250 Ghana and I say 500 cedis. Say ebe kwa to abe enne obi nya 18 years. Sa akwala no nkotu esika sana.
No, to be ne okay me make about 250 no. 250 no. Yeah, premium service. Premium service no say obekona nipa bebre abodom pemo. O mpese obetumi untumi ndi line no so. Nti na ofa nchen ho a na okutua ho a na aye ode amount tentem. But the point is that nipa he ye nyina aye penentem. Ye nyina aye premium service ni bi. Nipa he ne benya se sika no. Ano so ka ese wan ka ne ye. But the bia modia mo kan de ye ye eji ne ye kan ye de ne yan kan ye. E be de ne de oman no. President Akufo-Addo bra also I say we should be citizens and not spectators. Now when we are certain our citizenship no, and also someone say ye ni sam ye ni so bia oman no asumdwe ene ye pese ye bomba because ye mu bi no ye ni bibia ye beko enye ya adwen se ye pese ye kwotena bibia o monso mu bi no mo kita mo diplomatic and service passport asem no eba agi twipe mafa plane moja ehoko ebi no mo crown up to now no omomma eni aman mu omo yere no ne omomma eni oman ye beto aba na bebri etwa ticket na omode omoye minim amanyoko for mpanimfo bebre ni key government appointees of heads of ministries department agencies ye beto aba pe na omo twa ticket e de omomma ne omoyere mu e ekwa abuchire na ye no e na aka na afi enkofo mma e be manipulate omo na aka na ma tene maba me tu omo fo say basa na se politicians bi try some mobilize amon kan so so amon fa omoyere nom ene omomma no emedi enim good na say wo ye abranti a wako school kakra wa adwi mu do and your head is properly screwed on her. You don't have to allow a politician or the mma ekogu abuchire emfa wo nkogina akono say wo kona koye demonstration e kire ekotu weni no wi a wa bro tensi say jena foto eduane wo mra ne bade ono na waye intact wo mrante ne mbaba me tumofo say yen sorry waka. Let us have that sense of agency in defending our peace and ensuring that we are not a human in the we should never allow ourselves to be manipulated by the politician because ono onfa ne ma enye onfa ne yerem enye onfa ne busuafo enye.
Doc, then you betimi dey account ho register at me atoaba because Ghana card definitely nipa bebre wo ho a enya ade o menya card ne bi.
Say your guarantor system wo ho a me say National Identification Authority for omo gidi omo tum and omo de Ghana card.
That's right.
Your best electoral commission for say Ghana card no say yeah the guarantor system na ye there and ye omonso omungu niema mo kakra na even when it comes to voter registration you know, let us put in place mechanisms to beef up and to strengthen the guarantor system. Say na be ya enka se obia keke onim obi o se me guarantee ama. Let us improve upon it. How has the NIA done it? Omo guarantor system no eye credible. Na electoral commission for the enye credible. Na me can 3 John 11. I'm say 3 John 11a o se hwe papa ne sua. O se hwe papa ne sua. Nti no electoral commission for enhwe nia friend say NIA for you no. Omodi make omodi ama guarantor system I credible omunhwe omusunsua now let the two go side by side until maybe after some time, maybe after the next election or after next 2 elections, where we can be sure that the NIA Ghana card no institutionalizing a critical mass of people are the omunya card maybe some of the challenges that prevent people from going to get their cards such challenges we minimize them to a bare minimum. Now enu do what yakasa okay and abolish guarantor system be ankonya Ghana card me mfanye. Inti Ghana card na ye using it as a sole document for registration no na mum say enam challenges kakra and trust deficit ewo holding no ye best remping for say let them try to dialogue with the key stakeholders and deal with the trust deficit, let us also try to minimize to the barest minimum some of the glaring challenges. Na eno echi no, then we can move on with the Ghana card.
Yeah, yanka corruption kakra na fe free ho na ya ba adentina university lecturers market kitikitesa. Corruption, every government bia kan ho asem. The okan ho asem Ghana for GDA pa ma mimi gigina mu etudi his excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo echi say I Nana Danko Akufo-Addo I am not corrupt. Chief, then pani a problem when it comes to corruption.
We need leadership. Say near me who says any okay in our president Akufo-Addo ade ba kwa na emma ye penasem no and say na wohwe sania oka ne nse no sania ono abo ne bra na ebe de nse wode for ye and a dream ebe a tackle no I say what is anti loka say he is not mbere makasa se obi de ne nsa be si ne bo akasa me corrupt obi to me kasa e se boje no so okay enti no bra ono de ne nsa si ne bo akasa asem no ma ye nyina no ye ni ji say this is the person that we must all follow, but it appears say in our fight against corruption we don't need one person who is incorruptible. We need one person whose incorruptibility would be able to infect, or who would infest his appointees and not bind with his incorruptibility.
Okay.
Which I said, into Professor Mills, I say opasumje, and the opasumje, but what share na breswa na when to me I inform fan asumje no I infest in coffee na by na bresu nya babies with sharp teeth. Ose mom kodi obi atam oka na nopa mom kodi obi atam enwumre na nkwara ni bi awo kofo gumbi.
That's right.
You some tell ni bi na nkofo
awo gumbi
awo nkofo gumbi na nya papa yi na oka sama mu ni atam no eno na ebia ye do president Akufo-Addo die so I say I am incorruptible, but his incorruptibility has not infested, he's not be able to infest the appointees, the agencies, and the ministries under him with his incorruptibility. You know, I am thinking that in a fight against corruption, China ye petumia or say media me incorruptible. We need somebody who will say, I am going to build a certain network and relationships that will ensure that what I stand for affects all others. There is no leadership if you do not able to influence people, inspire confidence in them, such that what you stand for, they will stand for same. Whereas I not say there's been a leadership.
So corrupted. Nobody can be corrupt in his administration.
He himself may not be, may not have done things that can be described as a corruption. Now so no nkofo na oni omo ebu aba niam bebre. My teacher Professor Gyampo once said that as for President Akufo-Addo, his track record in the fight against corruption is in tatters. I thought it was harsh, but later me dream one and said the man himself ebi onu ankasa nko wi aba isika, but nkofo bebre wona say niam bebre ayetia won say his incorruptibility has not translated and has not translated into practical realities are be affected nkofo ni omu yedwuma nti no woti ho say opening and so bia na wada na wona egu abontin
yen ka bibi kakraba lectures market enyame pa. It's one of the things that dear to my heart. So watch me bad there at the final level of education na unfortunately no. So you see, you go home with less than 20,000 a number.
You go home with less than 20,000. I said, come pay.
Hey,
20,000.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
But it's all 7,000 and 4,000 as a four. I mean, that's where we are over. I mean, you can't say Captain Smart. You can't say I say you go when you want to say it's not be crying. Oni pe bi wo ho a okoye adwuma man na say okoye consultancy man na so ma sika na ote waketua a wogi a eto ne bia na siketua na opese ototo na sentine ya na ya wo untumi mfa wo sika a wogi and tudwa because it's shadow. What would the tudwa and so na amobia on as our cry no boy nyade. And so no wo ye dwuma me no charge no crop person this can be but can there eyenim gwase na me tell say emri bi president Akufo-Addo ka say you cannot teach and become rich.
That's right.
But if you go to Germany, one esikafo ni teacher for in several other developed countries, the rich are those who teach. Okay, but in our part of the world, the uchra there, you say omodo osodo, and you know more kasi kasemo na. You see, me say nia ebedu enche ebeba and say you see the British Labour Party was not a polka party. British Labour Party was just the coming together of labor unions to always sponsor people who champion their interests. It got to a time when say it to me labor union it will transform into a political party. We get our own person there to champion our interests. Into the say a bedroom maybe a teacher for would have to come together to champion our own interests because the politician has failed in promoting the interests of teachers. Into Kufo-Neka, we pretend to be working and the government will pretend to be teaching. There is nothing I say look at the number of people we teach. The bad lecture hall Beshen Kofo abo apeso dompemo. You must teach them ubia or problem so the back now and me fi ha say me kwatena office me nkoyehwe me kwatena office na nkofo aba as a sorry nkofo aba consultation sorry ubia problem
no
obi and yeah share problem you see kana esua no it me share problem say tua nkofo school fees it me share problem say e man nkofo
6,000 and 5,000
what me share problem obi ba school no oni mame oni papa obi ba school akrachi bi na me kire na the last semester me ho an obeka kire me say minimum me papa nhwewu na me fu kakra na menua nso menua ba ewo training college na ya pamo no say school fees ontimi ntuae ntino say mesro say nkama me kwan na me pese me kɔ efum ewo north na me kɔ twitwa me bru no me kɔ harvest me bru no na me
ton na me kɔ twam nya school fees
na me sika ne ya ahe o si 2,000 na me 1,800 na me say ntime be ya interim assessment 20 na okoi ti na afi ayameden ese me fa kwan mi so na me ma abrante ne sika se na be ya obetumi atena
be se na se free
bi na we okofa wen okay okofa wen and because on train or your ma kwan no ko twitwa ne bru and na se for we ye back we every now and then you hear people with stories obi beka na academic asem obi nso fi asem obi nso entinu yesika kra nso yesa de bi hwe nkwala aka oh me tumi a list me tua nkofo me anye kra me kan me mbo mitim kra nipa be 11 omo school fees no me na me tua minimum omo situation here so bad that we ya won hye nye yinti no o se me ko apply for financial aid ebi wa yet me director no ma ko apply obi nso akọ apply sika no nso ntinye ni nyomo nyina na it mo financial aid na se for ebi tete me fie no work as a school for because okay near on farm pan 1 2 3 4 mon so mon ko se on na se for o ti ofie na school ni no betumi anu aduane no waka se me school ni nteme ma na tu nu aduane a so ye den o ma na bidi enra me house up me buy e bi amakotopo na me ndi ho agro me buy o se ma nu bi amo na me say
wanu a wo buy na mo
me say Suzy me sraw buy ne dia amo buy ne dia me sraw ya na pentina enye for public adi me kan na osre on pe buy pa na ntino eniema nye na me hwehwe aban a obeba so obeka say teacher for mo na mo produce the nation builders ntino mehwe mo kakra ye beti aketua so ne de bi ahwe mo kakra anka education anka would revolutionize it.
You said something about the Labour Party or UK. Yeah. Now your labor unions coming together, and then you tie in with the teacher unions in Ghana. Say it's about time.
Yeah.
What started that way?
Oh, yeah, can't want some. Ishia, your friend said you tag say last week say near who conference. Yeah, bon command. Some of these things, you know, yeah, eba. the point and they say to the beer na a teacher for no being so no I polarized kakra. I know the but there's a certain critical mass of people who believe that it's important for teachers to close their ranks and to look for how they can project their own interest. Oh, now if you have a president who has said that it is not possible to teach and become richer, you see, I defy what the president has said. Me teaching names, me hieni, it is possible for people to teach and to also be able to afford 3 square meals a day and to do some of the things that omo ewiesi kano etumi ani bi.
Me bonya me mpa say lecturers e wo Ghana ha ketua betimi akosoro kakra. On se debi ameka se bia na me kan lecturers asem. Ye call former president Kofofie. I mean this is a big news. Na time UTAC for call strike no. Ulman to nsafre won no kasa ya mo kasa o magi atum se omo be call it off strike no. Na enkomodidie ni mu ana omo pani no da o man no ka se osre president Kofo. Na onfanto mampani anim se omboso market ya no onye ho bibi. Enti oye se obebo sika no a omogie no na ne vice president no train atade. Stop. Don't say it. Stop. It's disgracing. Don't say it. Say no man or to one who dear kwaso. No, so you say it. I want to know how much do you receive? To I say, Your Excellency, at the end of everything, my take home is 5,800. The way a president could forge kwa kunyan mu na otimi who said no. Ade no enkoye. E won crofobia o why say from mo say teaching assistant to say mo PS no. Wo kohwe binu market ya. Ghana for. Na ye wi na ye say ye manako university. Na oba or ye empty. Lectures say your ma from there. But ye meti hey. To be honest with you, say me here bibia me de be ye adwuma. Na me dear general say o mo mpem ma me a me you know me dada. Ade cha me medwuma. Me meda. Majuma home. Wo ba ko various universities no. Say mo research allowance yes I end.
Well, I can call book and research allowance every year bia no. E so mutua bo president Kufo din a. Ye bo na baso pa de say ono na breso na obey revolutionize teacher for aketua na breso no introduce us our book and research allowance look ekwan a mefa so a memma mo nsoso no modi kakra and say bia every year bia no there will be a sum of money na every year bia last year in etua a book and research allowance 8,000 cedis book and research allowance you can nyina bo around 8,000 cedis
chief banyesa 8,000 say. You were 12 months in a year. Maybe if you have a calculator, you super.
So me say
1, 2, 3 divided by 12. Not just say Bosume Kransa wo check for a year now.
Book research has 8,000 cedis. Yeah.
I say a month they do 700 Ghana cedis.
8,000 research no mo de ba ko bi nso ka ho. Omo de ba ko bi nso ka ho na.
I'm sorry but it sounds funny.
O kan yin abo mo say ko do. Omo de ba ko say 10,000 bibi. Ka ho na ja. Ano kra na say yakoko ho ntokwa nti. Tete ne ma bi fifi mu ana induce ke bia. But I know you once a year. Now once a year no kra ba be so no. And say be ko ho ntokwa za ansana
8,000.
Oh, nti no eya na akoye asefem.
Na the research men am here.
Na nsen ya call strike here tia sika ban se o de be ka ho ono ankasa say makoye labor market survey me pese me de report no ye adwuma report no mean to me fa nye adwuma nti no then ye call strike sika me de be ka mo sika ho no 1,071.
Oh ha babe prof please maybe I want in a year 10,700 if you know want in a year now
obviously on betua yen adibi you see if you ebre etu bre no aban eye evaluation of jobs
okay
yeah
Okay.
And based on the evaluation, if a labor market survey,
okay.
now we determine so I say to market you. Abaya yebi. On to me in report no any juma. Because it will mean so be increasing for sika. And then you call one strikes a fire juma. And I buy a pie and say. The year juma and your lecture from Kwana be affect you. As I affect all public servants. Do it yes, munje yebema allowance before 1 year. Na munye no. Na muji no after 1 year no na afi ya be can labor market survey no and the single spine na that was last year. From January 2022 to December 2022, aban say lecturer bia busumi bia obetua 1071, so 1071 cedis. Now 1071 cedis wonim say no tua no. Aban yanka say ntumi ntua otua 500 cedis. Otua 571 cedis. Okay. Now also university nankasa MPSka ntua 500 cedis.
1071 aban ntumi ntua otua 571. No, see, invest in 500. Let's say, and I mean, cash here. Let's buy 500.
1 year no end day at the December. 1 year end December no. I buy sure say still a minya sika antino. Mon cost on ye 1070. I ningwase.
It become. I mean, people must know.
1071. Kofo papanum. They are me a young man, but I'm called for Papanum, a course strike, a teacher, a cotton if you're not a foreign man. The demo will be about 1071. They put it to Petra. Call for cry, show me school fees. I ain't at the moment. Now, I am not quite a teaching, no, I am calling.
Calling.
I say calling.
Okay, it's a sound of
Ubi hair, the flow come one. A year or day, say, Obeshe, Yuma. Oh, baby, but they say, baby, you do not. Amma make I say, Bray, shadow. The professor said, Bilum. How much time they are or class? I say, Move school, Munko Krum, Mumba.
Oh, Professor, no,
I say, move school, go to town, Mamma back. Nayan Tiase. Nana or Shetna sitting him. And
the 2
for the 3 and 4.
It is a simple
there beat you. I had then said, Ubeshe ubi ba enim. Ah, you're brilliant. We school now. Be encouraging say, but now we are now wow. Say, ade me into ye. Because unipa no your bobra ekoyenim. Nipa no bobra so betumi nya bibi ahwe ne yene namba. Afi wo ko invite no say ombra na ombe sign a certain warrant that would nyame amwa na we nya consultancies biblia. Then it makes him poor. Na edin so betumi attract for say omonya de. Oh, no, me dream say abayin bi beba na odi a teacher for aketua be ni so ade hunu say anka free SHS ye pese ye man ye adwuma de den ye adwuma ebe say ebe ya ebe hye mukena. The other bit, it shouldn't be only about making sure say nkofo ntua school fees de omoko, but a teacher for na chere nkofo na omo ntua school fees no so okomo de omo a amede no machira de. Yes, we reduce the quality of things. I'm thinking, say, you bet to me provide a holistic review of whatever we are doing in terms of education. Send it will factor the one teaching into consideration. But no more much at the end.
A buying sisika in the I want to know. There be
a buying sisika in the say, who demonstrate. Mitchell, Papa, me wufi, Alpha me kwesiada, a benquine. Nani kaon apofe koto ewule echinechin all the namni nyina eguso.
That's right.
Midi what's your condition to be a condition no kwant me need man what's as of fun as account na what you know you atade na olusu belt di wo didi no na oba aba oba nyesika akoye ndi sika wo man yi mo si ye be govern yi na ye be run a lean government na ye betu ye ho ache na ye be penipa omoti patriotism asia be sacrifice kakra anka sika ekom won be redistribute obi abenya
the ministers ndo so said they can lean government no
oh said the ministers no the number of ministers in the history of Ghana Google ministerial appointment and government expenditure in Ghana's Fourth Republic. I authored that study with some colleagues. The history of Ghana from independence up to now, the biggest size government is President Akufo-Addo's government. And Yakasa on this we share mamusu na what is kra sika hin na be save sometimes to be anya sika on say amemu no see philosopher king Plato philosopher king asem oka no ono no leader no say that in the school and you could train how to govern. Who in Ghana got trained as to how to govern? Young train obia to obia sorry our electioneering campaign is it tries on popularity. To be a popular na ya fano say onko govern. Enti ushia nkofo na oni omaka oh when am oka say yenti government so so na what is so asika na besieve na me say munti ase. You see, you are trying to provide a certain leadership that will make people sacrifice. And you know, so we ministers be a film, and I would say a buy no so you may not have saved enough. But a man of when we say one so will sacrifice it. Inti echina so we can say na sacrifice it na aban nye sika emfam wo man na yeti ase. That's right, because also sacrifice. Because also sacrifice, but amon ti ase they don't even understand. What say much oh now what you buy no so won say we sika bia. Sometimes just for the optics. So that tomorrow when you tell labor unions say mo ko strike sika ni ho enam sika ni won point ni ya tie aban no so mu na mbedi because they can see the signs that you are leading by example. Oh come on tia say on pa aban na some and so no aban no ba so no enyina ye ko sa lie and ye ko to aba e mo and na so mo tia ase say fiti president Kufu Abreso me share ase me share adwuma ase ewo IE in 2004. Every government that has governed Ghana from 2004 in Ghana no I have scrutinized them. Enye ade edu bi a NDC for almost we MPP ni edu bi a MPP for almost we NDC ni. The point is that as a political scientist I am equipped with the canons of governance. Minim sania ese amambu ekoso. Intino se obi betena so a ene scrutinize no. That's right. Well, intino President Mahama we scrutinize him. That's right. President Atamils he scrutinize no. J Kufuor he scrutinize no. Intino President Kufuor so no you be scrutinize it. It doesn't make us NDC or MPP or whatever. And I believe say Ghana for am we descending they know what we stand for. We don't care about who is governing. We care about Ghana. That's it. Finally, say ya check Ghana ka wan hwa nyame ye wadoma oto say wan hwa betria 28,300 Ghana cedis. How did we get here, Prof? Well, we got here because of reckless borrowing. You borrow. One of the things that yet say in the lead up to the 2016 elections, President Mahama and Abayane said they were accused of reckless borrowing, without much to show. Okay, and tonight him said the new government would come with a different focus. But we know almost smart borrowing, but smart borrowing, no, a borrow sika bebre in reality no in yama bebre wo we into me pointed to now President Akufo-Addo is saying that the borrow sika dey collect roads na say for me carry say NDC for they were talking about roads and people the refrain was that we don't eat roads. Okay more can yama bebre o maye so yama na o maye no they are not tangible at say in century ekoso ewo crusade grounds of very fake pastors. Oh, they be fake pastors. Crusade grounds of very fake pastors. Oh, they be oh, call sa crusade nasia. Yes, no be into me nanti. Ubi ubuafo. He say utumi anante. And so sa nipa no ikrum of obi enim no. Eye nanka ye nyina ere tua say we de ye ne nete ha. Oyebubuafo afine na yem. That's right. And na ya be crusade bi na watumi asore anante a. Yesu Kristo ye ne nsanchere no. Won a osom ya na nkofo na akuru atese we de ni enimo no. Ane nkofo na de ye de ekoi. Boom. But crusade grounds of fake pastors no. De bia no em say omo ne nkofo ko hyehye ho. Ye te se woni efura na ya te woni. Community will be anymore. They be almost your call for quantity. Sana achievement na ye buru dia no. Eto de be na akoye. Say nkofo into me mfa omonsa ensi so nka say we me call aje kofo ho over the weekend. Na me do say soko de ho no eko ma ye kwan bi wona me say Well, at least these are some of a few things I can point to. But there are so many signature projects that the government said it was going to do. The achievements are not tangible. You see, when we talk about good governance, this is how we define it. You see, is the efficient and effective management of scarce resources such that it translates into tangible developmental outcomes reflective in the lives of people. That is, your achievement must be tangible, and your achievement must reflect in the lives of people. Your achievement must not be touted by you. It's a me ankasa me to me won't say masitini mo eden.
What's the school down? I can see.
Me ankasa me to me won't say masitini, and it's just a good governance. But you are touting achievements and then borrowing, you borrow bebre, and na edi ekodu bibi a ekodu. Nti ama me hu say amemwo no enye se wuti echi na wo criticize it. And yes, I would teach it. And to me, say NDC4, they've been very cautious now. Because the kinds of things that this government, when it was in opposition, said, I'm going to buy Western near man. I'm going to say, hey, I say, cautious.
That's right.
Well, me tell President Mama and so I say, Oba, any project for be no be no more near. They are cautious now. It is important that politicians get to know. Say, enye kasa yedi winning election any bu oman. Okay, na mom edwuma ene agro ene form ene yede chichire oman.
Mpacho, wosem phones no mienu na wa register, wosem card no.
Me pacho ma register mienu ina.
Okay. Because my sister say some betwitwam bi emi.
Ma register mienu ina na em say omama ye pressure kaka. It's a good captain. Oh wa no bi afre. No threatening.
That's right.
Oh, no be afraid. You know, SIM card registration. It's a good thing that we must applaud the government. But I told the beer, when you want fast to no more pressure now on you know, na ama nkofo bi so for say jama mashada. And today beer no in my papa na ayo mo no. Unfortunately, they are not able to build the needed consensus around it. In told the beer, oh yeah, papa the na so na akwese fear the Greeks when they are bringing their gifts.
Edru Monday say be random. Newspapers in American headlines and which you back no can one 7 minutes. Inquisitors say gala revelation by Professor Frimpong Boateng on Easy Calm at Jubilee House. The publisher NDC exposes the true state of the nation today as Ghana enters most critical week for IMF bailout. I did not kill MP plus 20 Chinese and as drugs came to court again. The Meridian, I have sleepless nights if I don't contest to rescue Ghana, Mahama. And then Baumia fever lights up Akweside with over 80 MPs accompanying him. The Informer newspaper, current economic challenges, prioritize nation's interest. Utumfo urges all. The Observer newspaper, Baumia fever, blah, 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 is the same thing. Headline, Omuchoma houses, fever, now. The Finder, Nanado orders probe into Professor Frimpong Boateng's Galamsey claims. The same thing on the Daily Graphic, front page. Volta Lake 5 die in boat disaster. Rescue team searches for more victims. Baumia, same story, Daily Guide. And then market anticipate MPC to retain policy rate at 28% and blah, 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 blah. I mean, fan some with him. Now, why you back on? Na can't want some name. Just choose your choice.
You say me fat near Utumfo Ekaya.
All right, yeah.
Say current economic challenges prioritize nation's interest. Utumfo urges all. Me say the national interest. You see, everybody is talking about on one kind of selfish interest, and nobody talks about the interest of the nation. And on a challenge now. Intino obi bibia bakra na ye hwese ye beka ho asem ye be ni ya the person first thinks about ono ne be ni oto ono ne benefit first and so wadwen national interest see ye beko IMF see enko IMF see ye take serious and very harsh economic decisions see you ni nyina no those people are motivated or driven by their own personal interest. Intino say Otumfo ka say in the current economic challenges, we should prioritize our nation's interest. Na odika, I just say, o mind be a crane ni wa, ebetumi edi I teach a course next semester. I'll teach strategies for African development.
Okay.
One of the strategies for African development is to encourage savings among its people. Or might be anywhere when a citizenry do not save. Because you can't save no buy you so at the year near money chiria. They say a ya koyese. Unya sika krampa, you don't know whether to save or to
not.
If I what they call baby I do sika ko. And we have discouraged and demoralized people from saving. Okay, it is not in the interest of the nation. It is important that government think about how best it can revamp the interest of the people in saving. Because we koye adwuma mo bi no ma 5,000 cedis. We nim say on fanko to banko, say on fanko shem pass you, say on go to two form now fanko show. We nim these are things that undermine the national interest, and there can be no meaningful discussion of development without inculcating a saving culture in the people. We used to have that saving culture, but handling of the economic crisis here, it has rather undermined the morale and the zeal of the people to save. And they say, we don't go focus because it is not in the national interest. It is important, I agree with you for in managing the current crisis, we must do all we can as a people to prioritize what is in the interest of the nation.
Thank you so much, Professor Edward Van Gyampo. Pacho, the idea Srawa Edward Debiana Mefrel. Mekwa Kohen Yansani Bakuswa Kaho. That is Edward Debia Atlas in the Aboncomo. Now, Adiabakwa Mashan and so say Kayo NDC MPP discussion. Mempesa discussion. NDC niti MPP niti hana una oye corrupt debi mempesa ankwala radio discuss TV discussion meni nje ho ti wa uhwemu ana meni wa bon komo no wa penipa ba kon aka ho a level headed wa na o ka brofo bi chem say if your head is rightly screwed on your neck ti unyo bia office niti so well screwed na yetimi abon komo no ya hwe how best we can make Ghana a better place. Once again, I want to say thank you on behalf of entire media and general team. We say thank you. All right, let's see. Professor Ransford Edward Van Gyampo, a lecturer at the University of Ghana. Or a professor, being papa. And I'll say, meneno ebo enkomono. Etino, yadane ya hu putupuru, yabase siya na afe ya kwa karinsteke fwa sweye, na afe masane maya na tenase. Ya wankomo bibo, Agric minister say koko ya say entimi nkwa nim kura wo memho ina no efiri mahama osi koko na say no ya koko no yentimi ntie koko papa mma na ye kosoro no ye ba form ye tempente nkwa ni nyina no osi sa haw no nyina no osre say yemfa nkohye omampani Dada John Dramani Mahama efiri say koko swelling shoots virus na ba ye no the time no went to me and fight it. Ni refi say e baje ku for time 2006. Ya dane ye ho aba. But answer na no. Omodi na call Onua online. You get these stories and many other ones to read there. We'll be right back.
One baby, my film never. It's no being the girls kasa, boys and so kasa.
Ya kasa. Me consenti, me ni ahoto. Ya bohana sahanye ya na ya ra.
Precious, your parents said in mind. Do you think they even have that right?
Yes, will be. I mean, say, Hammy.
Me, the mother from the cramps, and I mean, Uncle Penman,
Sister, you need to define yourself. You need to know who you are. Of course, we met here because we are soon.
Me mo bibi wa akwaba e de ba girls kasa so. Girls kasa. Memini de bia 6 p.m. e Onua TV so.